Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we're continuing on our Sword and Shield game. And at this point, I'm just basically getting ready to add magic to the game. We're going to do magic, and then we'll add potions and all that cool stuff still. So what I'm doing is I'm working on a staff. And yeah, it's a work in process. So basically what it needs to do now is, let's see, script parent. Let's see, script parent. Target X dot value. This one, script dot parent dot target Y dot value. And script dot parent dot target Z dot value. There we go. So now then we'll go through it. So what happens? Basically, we click on the enemy. It gets the enemy's position. We then have our magic. Boom. And then guess we don't need this. Is that not going to work? I wonder if I need to change this here. Or if we could just pick a single position. Perhaps we don't need all three. I guess we could just So now the problem here is that we could when we click on a target. Okay, so there has to be one more connection in this whole thing. So when we activate the target, let's see, so inside the wizard's hat, we need to insert an object here, probably a bool, and then this will be, we'll call this magic. There we go. So now what's going to happen is, oh, I wonder if yeah, so let's see, how's this gonna work? How is this gonna work? I want the object to go towards the target. We could pick the target X. Okay, we can pick the target X. So then, if I delete that, and we just take the X position of the upper torso, then what we also need to do is we need to say script.parent.handle.magic equals true. Alright, so when that becomes true, still doesn't. The problem is I need to get the position of the target. So I need to say like local target equals, and then I need to say target dot position. Right? So if I click on the click detector, the problem is you have to I would have to name every enemy would have to have its own name. And then we would have to have a script for every single enemy, or we could put them in like a group, a target group, you know, something like that, right? So that way, when we click on it, Oh, actually, let's see. This doesn't need to be here. This value, all right, here we go. So in the elemental damage, let's insert, let's insert an object, a bool value, and we'll just call this magic. All right, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to say player. We'll say game get service workspace, and we're going to say find first child player dot name, and then we're going to say find first child elemental damage, and then we're going to say dot magic dot value equals true. There we go. We can do that. So then, now we can add scripts on here. So this is where we can go from sort of real time, what's the word I'm looking for? Real time combat to simulation, right? Same thing with the extra damage. So we can say, okay, when you click on it, it'll do damage, or, you know. But anyway, so magic to value is true. I don't know how that helps us find the target in the workspace. Let's see. I can get the target's X, Y, and Z values. I was hoping that was going to work, but I might have to do something like this. Script of parent.cframe equals, let's see, script of parent.position. Let's try something else here. Script of parent.targetX, .targetX, value. No, it's easier if we go from the position to the position. So how do we assign the target? See, the thing is we would need a name. So we'd have to, I can get rid of this. We can go insert object. We can insert another string value. Doesn't matter. We can get rid of these other string values later on. And this could be called target. Okay. And then when we click on it, oh, these are assigned after these are assigned from here. So I might need to insert another string value and call this enemy. Okay, and then when we click on here, we'll need to say game, we'll need to say basically this again. But this is going to be .enemy .value equals, and then we'll show an explorer script .parent .name. So script .parent .name. So then when here the target equals, let's see if that, all right, then what we can say is cannonball dot target dot value equals but instead it's going to be enemy dot value. I'm pretty sure. Then we could say on this one script.parent.target.value script.parent.target.value. All right, let's see if that works. So basically what I'm doing is when we click on the object, it gives us the object's name, and then what we're doing is we're transferring that object's name to the player. So let's see if we've done that. Should be enemy right there, which is the wizard. Okay. Then what we're doing is we're taking that target name and we're finding its position. Let's see, target. Oh, you know what? So script.parent.target.value, and then we need to say local target position equals target equals game get service workspace, find first child, target. There we go. Now, in this case, we need the humanoid root part. We need a part within the target to find. So we could say target. This would be the easiest thing to do. We could say like that. Dot position. And then here we can just change this to target position. Just like that. So we click on the wizard. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So now how did I get the block to move? Well, basically it's just C-frames. That's it. So now what? But the thing is, it doesn't fly. So maybe we want this to be like 2, perhaps. Let's see. Now we can just play around with the numbers. Try and get it to hover. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. So then obviously once it gets to where it gets to, what we need to do now is we need to add a part to the enemy, or we'll have to have a part on the player too. which when it's touched by this, it can do damage. So in this case, because this is the enemy here, we could just take the right foot and we could insert a script right into the right foot, and we could say script.parent.touch connect function, right? And we can say and we'll say hit just like this, and we can say if hit.name is equal to 3mm, which is the name of the projectile. We can change it to anything. Then we could say script.parent.parent.humanoid, script.parent.parent. Oh no. What we need to do now is we need to create a damage script. So we need to now insert an object into the, we need another bool value. Did we create the magic? Right, so we can just call this magic. Just like that. What type of magic? For now, we don't really know. And then we'll insert another script into here. All right, so then we want to say script to parent to parent to parent. Let's see, where is this here? Show explore. Script dot parent dot parent dot parent. One more. There, dot elemental damage. Dot magic dot value equals true. There we go. Now in here, this is going to be our magic damage script. Now we could make this into whatever. We could put a function on the player where we could add variables in here. Like, we can make it pretty complicated. For now, it's just going to be simple. And so we're going to say while true do. All right, and then we'll say wait 1 second, and then we'll say if script.parent.magic.value is equal to true, then we'll say else. Yeah, no, that's it. That's all we need to do. All right, and then what we'll do is at the end of this, we'll say script.parent.magic.value equals false. So what do we want it to do? Script.parent.parent.humanoid.health equals script.parent.parent.humanoid.health minus damage. It's really that simple. And then we can say local damage equals 20. Yeah, there we go. Maybe it's lightning or something like that, right? So let's just see if that works. So we click on the NPC. Yeah, there, it's doing damage. That's cool. That's cool. Now this projectile, once it hits, we're gonna wait, and then we're gonna say, oh no, here we're gonna do this. So that's gonna play through. The damage script is gonna play through. Then we're gonna say hit remove. All right, so it's gonna hit it. It's gonna be destroyed, and then there we go. Nice. So that's kind of how we're doing this. We're doing this damage, but I don't quite get why it's rolling on the ground. But that's going to be for another. So now what we need to do is on the player, it's the same thing. And then we'll need to take that damage script. Where is it here? On the wizard. Copy it. And then we can just paste that into our here. Perfect. So it was pretty easy. What we did is we made a projectile. We got it to fire from the... We needed the target, and then we needed the target's position, and then we told it to turn, and this is the speed here. We could make it even faster. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it so that way, if I have it, yeah, so you see they're a bit faster. I wonder if I anchor it, if that will change anything. Let's see if I anchor it. No, it didn't seem to do much. So here it falls down onto the... I wonder if there's a way to get it to, like... I might have to write into the script. And then I should say, like, script.parent.position Y, perhaps. Here, let's reset this a little bit, and then... Let's see, script.parent.cframe equals cframe.new script.parent.position.y plus 5. Let's see. Oh, maybe I need to say, maybe I need to say 0, 5, 0, perhaps. No idea here. Oh, there it is, way over there. So we're gonna go to the target position. Well, I'm gonna have to work on this and see. Maybe I need this to be like 1. Let's see. Play around with some numbers here. Oh yeah, perhaps. It could also be the size of the projectile. Maybe if I make it massless. I don't know if it is. Let's see if we make it massless. Let's see if that changes anything. No, not really. Could you? I mean, it could be the size of the projectile. Maybe I'm not. There's not enough. Maybe we can turn this to like 10. Oh yeah, there we go. Because it has to hit that specific part. But there you go. There you have it. So that's kind of magic in a nutshell. From here, basically, we can now work on the effects, right? So now if we take the missile, obviously it doesn't need to be so big, but now we can add it. We can just add effects to it. So like we can insert an object. Let's see what we have in the toolbox for. Let's just look up magic here. Let's see what there is. Just the carpet, just the magic carpet, huh? Magic effect. Ooh, there, that's pretty cool. Wow. That is just a whole bunch of effects added together. That is super cool. Okay, so we can take something like this. Let's put this over here. It's inside a sphere. Okay, so we can scale it down probably. Yeah, but the effects still remain large. Okay, so let's take this here. Let's copy this. Ooh, that's a neat effect. Okay, now let's take this thing here. And let's just put that in the replicate storage. So there we go. So now we have that. So we are going to make that. Yeah, neat. Now let's see what happens here. Oh, that's cool. All right, I'm sure if the wizard moves around. Here, we'll do that, just in case. Woo. Neat. And then, of course, the wizard will be casting spells at the player as well. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so that just kind of gives you an idea of how a system like this could work. And now we have our elemental, right? We have the bonuses that we gave the player, which we can add to the damage. We have resistances, like, so we still, all the numbers are still there, right? We just have to sort of modify the weapon a little bit and make it so that way when we hit this, instead of sword, it's starter staff. Oh, is that not the starter staff? Oh, that needs to be the name of the handle. There we go. So the only problem with this is that it fires every time you press the mouse button. So now we need to figure out how to get this thing to not fire every time with the mouse. Because we need to be able to click on the enemy to so we need to do one more thing. We need to in the interface one more thing, and then our simple magic system will be the beginnings of our magic system will be here. So we don't need the target X and Y. I think we're just using the position, right? Let's figure that out first. We're just using the I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just leave that in there for now. All right. So now getting this thing to not fire. Excuse me. Oh, sneezing today, huh? Let's see. We get this thing to not fire. What do we need to do? Oh, inside the staff. Inside the staff. Okay, so when we equip the staff, we will do this. We'll do this. So we want to find the player. And then we want to say players dot player GUI dot UI, in this case dot activate. This will be, I should rename this to staff UI. Let's see, dot player GUI dot staff UI dot activate dot value equals false. There we go. No, equals, it's true when we're given the interface. So when we equip, it's going to equal true. There we go. And then maybe I don't have to set it here in the button. We're going to try, where is it here? I'm going to try this. And then what I want to do is, when we unequip it, script, what is it? Parent dot unequipped connect function. All right, and then we want to say we need this local here. So we're going to search for the player, and then we're going to change this value to false. Let's see if that works. So while the value is true, we can cast What's going on here? UI is not a valid member of. Oh, whoops. Oh, staff UI. Whoops. There we go. That's the problem. Oh, I changed the name of the handle too. Alright. Script line 5. Not that one there. Line 5. Script.parent. Alright. That should be all the revisions. So what we've done to create magic in the game is we created a projectile. Okay. Why can't I equip the staff? Oh, because it's named handle. Let's see. Alright, let's copy this. Let's do that. And then rename this. Handle. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, so now while it's equipped, yes, there we go. Some stuff is happening now. Let's see, what is it saying here? It's saying starter staff script line 49. It says staff UI is not a valid member of. When I equip it. Oh yes. So this here fires when I equip it. So we don't want it to fire when we equip it. We should do that when we activate it. That's probably better. And then let's try that. There's a few errors there. Holy moly. All right, so there's a few things going on that I'll have to work on. That'll be for the next video. So what we did is we kind of messed up a few things. Enemy spawn, hit.parent.player name.value. See if that solves that. Seems to have. Oh, but then when I unequip it, let's see, starter staff line 17. Oh, player.name. Oh, can I do that? Or script? No, we need this. We need this. We need this. We need this here. And then we need this here. Just like that. Because we have to unequip it to click on the enemy, to target the enemy. Oh, there we go. Yes! Excellent! Now the wizard is chasing us. Raw! Die, wizard! And then we can slice him down. The wizard has been defeated. It was so hard. Cool. So I hope with that you're seeing that we're making a little bit more progress. Now we have the makings of a magic system. So what do? Well, basically we created a projectile. Okay, we gave the projectile some properties. We told it to find the target's position. And then once we have the target's position, we can say current C frame equals cframe.new. And then what we need to do is we need to say, okay, now what you need to do is be able to turn in the position of the object, which is this, math.rad, blah, blah, blah. And then this one here is the velocity. Now this one number, I'm still kind of suspect about that to see how effective it really is. But you basically get the idea there. We sort of have a projectile now that kind of follows the player, right? We can load our weapon. There we go. We go through. That's the risky part, is we have to target the enemy. And of course, he'll be doing damage to us. Oof. Yeah, it's not a perfect system. It's funny because the regen amount here is not equivalent to to our actual regen amount. So I'm gonna have to update that and change that around also. And then I'll have to make those things disappear. Sweet, I got some loot. Done. Cool. Yeah, I've got the makings of what could be a fun RPG. This needs a little bit more sound and then maybe some more actions. Right, so that's what we sort of need to work on next is the NPCs kind of fighting back, which we'll go through adding animations, adding magic and stuff. Magic will probably be the main part of getting hit by the enemy. Maybe some area of effect stuff. And then, yeah, we just continue on doing what we're doing. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. You guys are awesome. And for those of you who have been watching for a long time, you're particularly awesome. Thank you so much. And, yeah, that's it. So we created a projectile. We gave it some properties. We also needed a staff, which we just got from there. And then I just directly copied the statistics from the sword into the staff, and then I just added a gun feature. That's all I did, is I added a gun feature. So basically, when you activate the prompt, it clones this interface to the player, right? In the interface, it has some values like we do. And then it checks to make sure that we're activated. If we are activated, then we could go ahead and fire this projectile. And that's it. That's basically it. Yeah. And there's a remote event, blah, 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 how we do that, right? It's just like all the trucks, all the other vehicles. What we do is when we activate the prompt, it clones the interface to the player. It binds the value on the interface to the remote event, which is in the weapon. That allows us to bind player functions, so the player can ask the server to do things, right? So what we're doing is we're saying, okay, we're letting the player ask the server to spawn in the projectile, and that allows us to. The reason why we want things to be done through the server is so we can pass any of these values through. Okay? If we tell the player to directly give values to an object, and then we tell that object to interact with the server, it's not going to work properly. So what we have to do is we have to tell the server to give these properties to the object, and then we need to tell that object to interact with the server. Simple as that, right? So it disables the script, plays the gun sound, gives our name to the object, so that way if the object hits something, we can give the player the reward. That's for something else. We'll figure that out on another day. And that's basically it in a nutshell. Oh, it also does physical damage. I forgot about that. Oh, am I being dumped again by Roblox? I might be. There we go. I forgot, because the staff has the properties of the sword, we could just beat down this wizard. Haha, we don't even have to use magic. Now the staff just becomes like the ultimate weapon. But I'll have to make it so that way if we touch the wizard, we do damage. Something like that. It's going to be something neat. Something interesting. And these things. I thought they were supposed to be removed from the workspace. So we need to say fire. The first thing we need to say is remove equals game get service workspace, find first child, and then the name of our projectile. All right, and then we say if remove, then remove. There we go. Now it'll only cast one projectile at a time. No matter what. Yeah, there we go. So if it doesn't hit him, has he got 2 floating around? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Nice. Cool. So now we have sort of the beginnings of a magic system. All right, well, that's going to do it for that. There's still a few more errors that need to be worked out, of course. Once again, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. As always, I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully, bye for now.